Thomas Massie is one of the most decent human beings, probably the most decent human beings in politics right now.
I agree.
I don't think there's a single gram of hate on this guy. I think he's the only guy that votes his heart and votes his morals in. And this is a tragedy. So my deepest sense of condolences. I was actually I wasn't gonna do the story, but I think it's important. So where his wife and his family is gonna be in our prayers. So that's a fair thing. Like I'm gonna try to treat this very respectfully.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, think about what they're going through.
Yeah, I think very highly of him.
Okay.
So anyhow, this was announced on June 27th. The cause of death of his wife was sudden death. She died in Mount Rainier. Their house was the place of her death. And this surprisingly came right after him. Like, this guy, voting his conscience, has a lot of enemies.
Oh, you think?
A lot of enemies.
Of course he does.
And this comes 3 weeks after him making some remarks on the relationship between APAC and the government. I think we have a video here, so you guys can get some context.
Okay.
This is a clip. This is a segment when he exposes that every single Republican congressman has an APAC person.
Okay. And what does APAC stand for everybody?
America Israel Political Action Committee.
Now, before we play, did any of you guys know that every single member of Congress had an APAC representative that they met with? You read the news pretty much every day.
I had no idea.
I had no idea till he told me.
Idea. I worked in D.C.
How is it possible?
With
So everybody,
and I had no idea.
every congressman, everybody in Washington has somebody that's an Israel representative.
That's what Thomas Massie
All right, let's hear.
claims.
All right, can we hear this?
Sounds like collusion.
They're not registered.
Is there any other Republican who has your views on this?
Well, I have Republicans who come to me on the floor and say, I wish I could vote with you today. Yours is the right vote, but I would just take too much flack back home. And I have Republicans who come to me and say, that's wrong what APAC is doing to you. Let me talk to my APAC person. By the way, everybody but me has an APAC person.
What does that mean, an APAC person?
It's like your babysitter, your APAC babysitter, who is always talking to you for APAC. They're probably a constituent in your district, but they are, firmly embedded in APAC. And
every member has something like this?
I don't know how it works on the Democrat side, but that's how it works on the Republican side. And when they come to DC, you go have lunch with them.
Jeez.
And they've got your cell number, and you have conversations with them. So I've had
that's absolutely crazy.
I've had 4 members of Congress say, I'll talk to my APAC person.
Jeez.
And it's literally what we call them, my APAC guy. I'll talk to my APAC guy and see if I can get him to, dial those ads back.
Why have I never heard this before?
It doesn't benefit anybody. Why would they want to tell their constituents that they've basically got a buddy system with somebody who's representing a foreign country?
Wow.
It doesn't benefit the congressman
Running
for people
the
to know that,
show.
so they're not going to tell you that.
I think we all got this.
Yeah, we got it.
We got this.
Thanks, Cal.
And go ahead.
I was going to say, he says something in that clip later. He goes, they make me do homework, or they tried to make me do homework, and I just didn't want to hand in my homework. They literally say, write on this worksheet why you love Israel so much.
What
And he's
the
like, I don't want to do that.
And he used a very interesting term. I thought it was representative. He used the term babysitter. What does a babysitter do? A babysitter watches over you when other people, your parents, are not able to. Those are people that are hired to come in and tell you what's best, watch over you, dictate what you do.
Make sure you don't do anything wrong.
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
and he used it. That's very interesting that he used the term babysitter.
You guys listen to the clip. He said, one of the representatives said, my APAC person won't let me go for that.
Yeah.
He won't let me do it, even though I know. But did you hear what? Yeah, great point. He said, I know it's wrong and I should vote for this bill, but I can't because of them. So what the fuck? Israel has somebody babysitting each one of these Congress men and women to make sure. Wait, what? And then Ben Shapiro, I remember going, hey, just to let you guys know, it's not a handler. It's like, shut up, you fucking dork.
And I don't play those games. Let's not make this about anti-Semitism in Israel.
That isn't.
Whatever.
No, it's not. It's about
dork is not anti-Semitic.
No. Ben Shapiro is a dork. period. He plays the violin.
races.
I don't give a shit.
But Vinny, listen to me. Even if it was a Tex-Mex,
I don't want anybody. No, but this is a different country. No.
Yeah.
Tex-Mex is different. This is another country babysitting each congressman. That's going to influence their decisions of what's going to be good for America. No, it's going to be what's beneficial for Israel.
It doesn't even have to be a country. Like if it was the toy cartel, or if it was, I don't know,
anybody. But it makes it 10 times worse
the
that it's
shoe
another
mafia. I don't know, whatever you name it, the pizza makers of America.
no.
Like if I vote for a guy. He needs to vote what I voted for.
Yeah,
like that's what we have a representative.
Well, you're going to be
It's
surprised.
bullshit.
You're going to be surprised if you look into it because they do have guys for all those too, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
that's not how it should be. But we were talking before the show, just real quick, how the food in America sucks. There's like so much chemicals in it compared to when you go to another country, and this is because all the industries have guys for congressmen. Maybe not as direct as Israel, where it's like literally a babysitter per person with a phone, but yeah, lobbyists basically check up on congressmen and make sure that they don't pass stuff such as, no, you can't put fucking poison in the food. Otherwise we're gonna destroy your career.
Unbelievable.
So,
But yeah,
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, and I was saying it goes to show, and if we were to say, of course, whether it be Israel or take APAC out of it and put any country, that we are supposed to be a country governed for and by the people. If your handler or babysitter is affecting and implying what you can or cannot vote for, who's really running the country? Not the American people. And all condolences to Thomas Massie and that, because it's horrendous. But goes to show also, and I don't want to tailor to that, but he's one of, like you were saying, one of the only individuals that will actually say that. The fact that we don't even know that is horrendous, and it kind of makes me think when you think of how we should vote and all of those things, and it's kind of off topic but similar, are when they vote for something, is it a page that you're voting on, or is it 1,000 pages?
Oh, it's thousands of
and
pages.
then they
the
vote
bill,
for it.
The bill, forget it. The bills are like this.
And it's like, so how do you even know what they're voting for? We don't even know what our representatives vote for, believe in, nothing. But really how we're supposed to be governed is by the consent of the governed. Nothing that is voted on is by our consent.
No,
We
it's
don't
by the
know-
consent of Israel.
Exactly.
Yeah, apparently.
It's like,
or the other pacts. Am I the only one? Am I crazy?
no, I mean,
Sorry.
to make matters even worse, those...
Sorry, I don't know.
No, it's fucked.
It's fucking insane. I mean, to make matters even worse, those packets, those bills that are 1,000 pages
communist
long,
bills.
a lot of those words aren't even written by members of Congress.
They don't even read them.
They're copy and pasted from think tanks in the periphery of D.C. So, like, there's the mall and there's the Capitol building. That's where everyone votes. But around the mall, there are dozens and dozens of offices that are think tanks, lobby firms, consulting firms. They are the ones who write up the text of these bills, and then they send them to the congressman's staffers. The staffers put them into a bill. The congressman eyes it over, is like, yeah, sure, put that on the floor. My guys are supporting that. And then that goes for the vote. Thomas Massie is one of the only guys who actually stops that whole time and is like, I'm just not going to vote on that.
Good.
I'm not going to, because he says in that interview, there's so many times where he just was the one guy that didn't vote for something and just pisses them off because it makes it an odd number and they hate that. And like Humberto said, this might not be like rest in peace to his wife. If she was actually possibly assassinated by somebody, it doesn't have to necessarily be Israel. It could be any one of these giant lobbies, but that is a powerful lobby.
When I get into that, I just pulled out his voting record. You can see it on screen. He has one of the cleanest voting records.
Nice.
And I need to bring this up because, I've worked in politics for a long time. And once I started this trend in South America, once I started looking at the voting records and putting real pressure on the guys and calling them out, like I will print the voting record. Yeah. I go like, whatever. I can't repeat it here because we're monetized. Yeah. You voted for this. And here you said that. And then I will do all these tweets. I'd be like, you've been, anti-abortion, your whole thing, your whole campaign, and you voted for it. So once you start tracking these people, vote by vote, and making a big deal about vote by vote, they will start reading those bills. And I'm going to need some help here because I don't remember the name of the guy. But lobbying is
it's embedded in our politics.
No, it's how things go.
Of
like
course.
if I sell shoes and I'm gonna get him wet. But one thing is like old school lobbying. that, hey, Vinny, if you vote for this, you have like $10 million for your campaign.
Yeah.
That's great. But last week, and Shane knows where we're going with this, they're doing the opposite. They did it to Massie. They started spending money against him.
Oh, wow.
APAC?
Yeah. So instead of bribing, they're funding the opposition.
Wow.
They did that to him. They're doing that to Corey Bush. They did it to Jamal. They're doing it to all the squad members. And Jamal Bauman himself was he just lost to a pro-Israel guy.
Yeah.
And it was the most money that's ever been spent on a House primary race in America.
20 million, right?
20.4 million. I believe.
Jeez, I mean, the squad. I have no love for the squad because of the other bullshit. But I mean, that's kind of
what, like marrying your brother and then
marrying your brother
and
then Ilhan Omar the past week. Have you guys been seeing her? She's speaking in front of her constituents. It's all in
they're going
Somalian,
crazy.
And they're like, "Fuck America." They're like, "This is all about Somalia." Yeah,
I know.
Then go back.
Right.
Then go the fuck
why
back.
are you here? Why are you here?
Why do you come to this country and then try and turn this country into the shithole that you left? Remember when Trump called them shithole countries? They are. And go the fuck back there.
It's very elaborate. It's like you walked 7,000 miles to go somewhere and say this place sucks.
Well,
I want to turn it into the place. Well, why didn't you just stay?
Yeah, but you know what it is? They want to suck everything out. Oh, fuck that. They want to ruin this.
And the thing is, okay, we cover the Epstein case, and some people, they jump straight to a conclusion that he's a Mossad agent. There's other agencies, he could be a CIA agent, but he
was Jewish too, so it does kind of help the situation.
I don't see enough evidence.
And Maxwell was.
I think it's...
So Ghislaine being Jewish, Epstein being Jewish.
Maxwell being a Mossad agent.
I'm sorry, she's a Mossad agent. She's not Jewish. She was French, right?
No, I think she's British and Jewish, and her father was a Mossad agent who was
okay. So her
who
father's
mysteriously drowned by the way.
So wait. So her father's was definitely Mossad
fell off a
agent.
boat.
They're both Jewish. He's Jewish. I mean, is it that far-fetched to believe it?
No, it's not far-fetched, but I definitely think intelligence.
Yes.
But I don't think there's enough evidence to point at one of the agencies.
What you're trying to say is just that there's a lot of enemies Epstein could have made, and there's a lot of enemies Massie could have made.
I can give you a few examples.
How did you? And Alberto, not to cut you off, please.
Yeah,
please remember that. Sudden death. Was it any? Did they give us any autopsy cause of death? Meaning, blood clot. Was it a heart attack? Did she fall? Dying suddenly is not a great. And this was how many days ago? June
27th.
So 27th. Okay, I mean it's a week, but we still need more time.
Yeah, but there should be an autopsy by now, right?
What did she?
I think the family is grieving is the effect.
I know,
which is I
which is respected. He
I am.
He had the most beautiful family. His
feel
Christmas cards were the best.
High school sweetheart.
High school sweetheart.
God,
Like it's heartbreaking. Okay, and I still remember one of his Christmas cards. It's the whole family with
Guns,
with AR. It's awesome. Overall, all around American. But talking about enemies and not pointing at one enemy in particular, because I want to be fair. 2023. Massie was the only Republican to vote against a resolution condemning the boycott, divestment sanctions against Russia. Then Massie was the only member of Congress to vote against the $2 trillion coronavirus relief package. So then you have two powerful enemies. You have the military-industrial complex, the only guy. You have the pharmaceutical, how do we call it? Big pharma. You have two enemies that are unknown.
Those are the two big ass ones.
Yeah.
Pharma, are you kidding me, bro? Those people have hitmen for sure.
Here, he rocked the boat a little bit. Massie was the only Republican to vote against the resolution condemning anti-Semitism. That was a big bill.
Yeah.
Huge.
2018, Massie was the only Congress member to vote against the bill that provided $1.3 billion in aid to Ukraine. 2017, Massie was the only Republican to vote against the bill that has imposed sanctions on Russia. All right, so he has Russian enemies, Ukrainian enemies.
What nationality is Zelensky?
Come on.
Well, I'm just saying we were talking about ties to the Mossad.
Just because you don't like the connection of the dots, you still got to connect them.
Well,
come on, Umberto.
Connect all the dots.
Umberto might be a freaking Mossad agent for all
So
we
what
know.
you're saying is Thomas Massie is the only American representative that votes solely based off America
Principles.
and our values and our
Yes.
principles.
Rob's laughing because he thinks so, right, Rob? You're laughing because Humberto might be
do.
a Chilean Mossad agent.
Bro, the odds that our company continues to grow, the feds are they've infiltrated.
Oh,
Which
for
one
sure.
is the Fed?
Look
Is
at
my
that
favorite
hair.
game.
Look at his hair. Put the camera on him. Look at that hair. Look at that guy. That guy's a friggin' agent. Go ahead.
They're on to me.
Did you hear this?
They're on to me.
Like parachutes out of the
Pull the
ceiling.
plug. You're gonna hear about my handler outside.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
Guy.
Babysitters here.
But anyhow, just I'm just being fair here. Like he had enough natural enemies for anything to happen. Maybe he's not related at all.
Maybe, but you never know.
And as you said, Taylor, like he is literally a national treasure.
I love the guy.
We need more people like him. And if we have PACs, not only giving money to the wrong people, but giving money against the right people, like we're never gonna get decent people to represent us in Congress.
I agree.
So like my heart goes out to him, his family, and I think he's an example of what actual, like
What's his wife's name?
his wife's name, Rhonda.
Rhonda. Well, God bless her. God rest her soul. And our prayers go out to Thomas and his whole entire family. And yeah, what were you gonna say, Taylor?
Well, 100% condolences, but I would say, where's our angry patriot? We need to fund that.
Oh,
For people like Thomas Massie.
Oh, I'm pissed
Yeah,
off. I'm very pissed off.
What I worry about this story is that people will lose courage because of this to stand up because they're like, I don't want my loved ones to be killed.
Yeah.
But Taylor, you were saying something before.
Jordan Peterson.
about
It's
Jordan
like,
Peterson.
who are you? Yeah, who are you more afraid of? And he made a great point. Are you more afraid of your enemies or God?
Right. So it's like somebody said that he was brave, and he's like, no, I'm not brave. I'm just more afraid of a different group. You're afraid of the cancel culture, of things that happen in this world. I'm afraid of what's going to happen after.
And just to clarify, we're not saying anybody did anything, but it is kind of suspicious that the one guy that is pointing out that Israel has a babysitter for every single one of these people in Congress, every one of them talks about it, and then his wife dies suddenly. Come on. It is kind of a coincidence. But anyway, all right, Umberto.
That's why we're starting the Angry Patriot Super PAC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a super
It's
PAC.
gonna be GTFO.
I'm going to be angry the whole time.